Roger, go for deploy.
Hey gang, it is The Bone here. Just a quick word of warning. My audio bloody drops out at some point during this show. So with Zac and Dan. So just be aware of that. We did have some technical difficulties with one of the mics for the past couple of weeks, but it's all sorted now. For your information, it was just a screw loose. Genuinely, pardon the pun. But yeah, just so you don't think it's anything wrong with your car or your phone or wherever you listen to the show. Some people listen to it in the shower. Yeah, so I hope that helps. Goodbye. Other than that, enjoy the SHOW. All right. Oh, righty guys. Welcome back to another episode of Adventure Fit Radio, coming to you live from Melbourne, Australia, Victoria. Specifically, postcode 3161, if anyone wants to come around and rob a house. This week on the show, we have weightlifters Katz and Zac Grgurevic. They are pretty fucking good. That's all I'm going to say. Pretty good weightlifters, guys. We had a massive... They're good friends of ours, good friends of Adventure Fit Radio. Zac's been listening since when we started. Dan, a little bit after that. We had a great Shoot the Shit episode. We also spoke about everything from weightlifting to mindset to what they do in their spare time and how they're going for Commonwealth Games, for tryouts, for nationals, for internationals, for worlds, for galaxies, all the good stuff. Alrighty, so firstly, guys, we are sponsored to you by Audible. Audible is a huge online library of audiobooks, guys. That's where I get all of my information from when I'm in the car, when I'm moving ahead and I can't sit down and read a book or an ebook. So, guys, if you are keen to get a thirst for knowledge, keen to get a fiction book in, keen to read a memoir, keen to read a homatsi, head to www.audibletrial.com/ADVF and you will get one free credit when you subscribe per month. Also, guys, we are sponsored by Zac Grgurevic, which is an Elwood-based freelance design firm run by our mate Sean Marsh. Guys, his sole aim is to solve business challenges with creative solutions, whether that solution is a new website, logo, or marketing strategy. If you come to him with a problem, he'll work out the most effective way to solve it. So, gang, head to www.quashcreative.com. That is QUARSHCREATIVE.com. Mention Adventure Fit Radio. Shawnee will give you a free basic SEO report on your website or feedback on your existing brand. And finally, guys, as always, we are sponsored by our mother company, Adventure Fit Travel. Bill is currently leading the Kokoda trip in Papua New Guinea. We have Thailand coming up. That is Koh Tao coming up, guys. Head to www.adventurefittravel.com. Mention the code word radio to get 10% off all merch and go from there, guys. I like it. Without further ado, here's the show.
Welcome to Adventure Fit Radio, guys. Sitting here with Dan Katz and Zac Grgurevic, both reigning national champion weightlifters from the past year. As we normally do, though, before we pass it over and say to the boys, we will start them off with Tommy's tribute.
Alrighty, now, I just spoke to Katz before and I actually mentioned the fact that I haven't practiced this one at all, so, mate, that's right in front of the screen. Alright, here we go.
He needs to look at the lyrics.
Oh, yes. It's fucking... Well, I'm sitting here with Dan and Zac, and Dan is lean and Zac's got a fat pack. It just doesn't seem like these guys are strong at all. But then I went and trained with them. I picked up the weights and I saw how they moved. If only I could be half as strong and as good as they are. Yeah, I could start to eat as much as Zac, but then I'd expand the size of my crack, and I could be like Dan and treat myself a bit. Yeah, these dudes all knew fucking shit. They all, God, lost the words. My name is Tom and I think I'm pretty shit. I lost the words there. Alright, cause we all just wanna be big rock stars. Oh, fuck this song.
What are you talking about?
lost
Big
it.
rock stars.
I lost it. I actually lost it. I'll sing the last part. Believe it or not, Zach's in his mid-20s, despite the fact his head is shiner than a bowl. Hey, I wanna be a rock star. I fucking so bad.
Dude, it was worth it for the first verse. That was fucking great.
I can't believe it. So, that's why they say that practice makes perfect, and I didn't practice at all.
We should just do stuck in the middle of with
Yeah,
you
do
again.
that again. We should do it again. All right.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
All right, we can do this again. So,
I have this thing like where when I watch people sing in the street, like
get nuts.
buskers and that,
Awkward as shit.
No, I just get like really embarrassed for them. Like if someone sings in the shower or something, I get like, oh fuck.
mate,
Well, strap yourself
All right.
in, mate. You're about to get really fucking embarrassed.
Katz is about to play the guitar here, and he's going to put me to shame. And
He's
it's all
really
better.
good.
Here we go.
Really good.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I don't know why you came here tonight. I got a feeling something ain't right.
Oh no, not right.
I'm so scared in case I fall from a chair.
That's good on him.
And I want now I'm
Fucking prick.
well, clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with these two fucking shit waiting in the chair. Stuck in the middle with these two.
I'll clap to time, Danny.
Finally, clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle.
And then there's that bit that we go, where you stuck?
Oh, yeah.
And then you go, where's... You embarrassed yet, cunt? Yeah, good.
35 seconds in. Hey, mate. You can't.
That was definitely the most up and about intro we've ever had.
Hands are off. Hands are off.
I'm going to get some beers. I think it's about time. So,
Let's get a couple of nose beers.
alrighty.
Okay.
Well,
I feel ill.
welcome to the show, boys.
Yes.
Hello.
Great to be here.
Thanks for making it down, Zach. I can't believe you actually made it on the show. I tried my hardest for years to
get me
to
off.
disallow you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sucked
but
in.
he's...
Have you snatched 150 kilos yet and clean jerk 200?
Well, no.
I'll just turn this out. I'll just turn this mic 4 off. And,
you can't talk anymore, mate. He's going to have to leave.
Well, okay. No.
are you nervous, mate?
Well, first you got to think about it, mate. I'm first time on the show, but many times listener.
The
Yeah,
thing,
you are,
the
aren't
thing
you?
is,
Yeah.
the microphone adds an element of self-awareness, and all of a sudden you
Yeah.
can actually hear the stupid shit that comes out of your own mouth.
I didn't come on here to be ridiculed.
Yeah, you did. You don't know that you did. You did.
I was only allowed to come on.
Quite the reason why you're on here, my friend.
Wait, why don't you explain that I was only allowed on here because I had to bring my fucking guardian?
Yeah.
Well, that's a fair point.
Dan's the sensible one of the duo, and I wasn't
the
going to
man.
allow Zach on the show without Dan here too.
He's the man.
I promise I won't tell any Tasmanian stories.
Good. Yeah, so
Anyway, this one time.
there's a bit of a phenomenon that Zach sort of participates in, which is whenever he's in a group setting, he starts to get nostalgic about Tasmania. And
Yeah.
he starts to tell stories about Tasmania that aren't necessarily appropriate.
Sometimes true, probably.
Oh,
Very
100% true.
That's the problem.
But really fucked up. Like,
For the record,
I was
Zach,
thinking like 30%. I was thinking like 30%
Let's
true.
go.
We won't
I'm
mention
really
it.
trying hard here not to bring it up, but just
many
keep on.
cuts
Like,
have you
but if none. You know the part you're going to ask me at the end of the show because this always happens each week. Where my favourite place is, and I'll explain. And I'll give you a little
Give us a
Tasmania.
little glimpse of a Tasmania. What happens in
No.
Tasmania? Is it another whole part of the world, eh?
You're just
Well, you're from
actually.
Ryback Beaches, so
Yeah, I
you-
know what goes on, mate.
You know,
But that's not
yeah.
Tasmanian, bro. I feel like we're a whole nother level.
I just don't think that you got to wait for it. It's too good.
Ooh, this is
What?
that sounds a bit
What?
strange.
Sounds
That
lame.
sounds like
oh, you're tempting us with the segment of what your favourite place is?
Yeah.
that
All right,
sounds so weird.
Katsy, anyway. So if Zach's not going to talk, Dan,
No, he will, but only at a certain point.
all right. So
Like Tommy.
what's been happening anyway, boys? How's training been going?
Oh,
Is that you?
That'll be Tommy's got a call.
Yeah, that's right. Emily Scott. Alrighty. We may as well get her on the show.
oh, fucking... Oh, hey, Em.
Oh, that's
I'll call you back.
Dan's girlfriend calling in. What's been happening? What's been happening with training? Everything's good.
Not much. Well, it's the Commonwealth Games year this year, so we got like 4 qualifying events for the Commonwealth Games, and one of them's happening in 2 weeks, which is the Australian...
1 week.
Oh, 1 week. Shit. Australian International. So we're in
That looks like a sick event, by the way.
Yeah,
Doesn't it look good?
There's going to be allegedly, the Olympic champion from the last Olympics is going to be there in the 105s.
Yeah.
He's probably a bit scared. He's probably shitting himself.
Usain Bolt.
Probably shitting himself.
Yeah. He's scared of Zac.
Is it what's his name? Ruslan Nurmagomedov?
Ruslan Nurmagomedov.
Narudinov. Yeah, I always fucking get it mixed up.
So what are his numbers?
Oh, like
190 snatch, 245 clean and jerk, or something
he's
absurdly
tough.
large.
He's the guy that set the world record before Ilya broke it in Ilya's first 105s in the World Championships 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in gold medal
Nah,
place before
was he?
Ilya was like,
Yeah.
I thought it was Kakis Villas's record from... Oh, no, because he was in 94, and then that was the stand... No.
no.
I'm going to pipe down.
Pipe down there, pal. Kakis Villas, what are they?
Kakis
Doesn't make
Villas.
Zac Grgurevic, though.
Oh, how good... No vowels. Hang on. Is there vowels? No.
Yeah, no, so this guy is going to be lifting there. It should be, allegedly, and I think there's also going to be, like, in my division, the 77s, there's, like, some guys from New Zealand, just the usual sort of Commonwealth people that you see around from New Zealand and different
Commonwealth
Oceania countries, yeah.
Elite.
So it should be a really good competition, and I'm in pretty good form. So I've done, I snatched 130 in Tassie recently, and I clean jerked 155 the other week. Or this week, actually. On Monday, yeah,
5
on Monday.
o'clock Monday.
Yeah, so I'm feeling good, and we'll just see what happens. You never know what could happen in a weightlifting comp.
So what's the process for you two guys then if you want to make the Com Games? What do you have to do in these 4 comps? Like, how does it actually logistically work out?
You got to, basically, these are the comps that, you need to qualify in these competitions.
Yep.
So it's...
You just have to hit one standard, or...?
Well, no. So they're sending an 8 people all over from the men, say for instance, and they're sending 1 person per division. So the way that it worked last Commonwealth Games is it was top 8 men overall through Sinclair, and you could send 2 people per division.
Gotcha.
But now you got to be the best in the division, or they won't send you. So
Really?
I could be, say, the second best in the country through Sinclair, and I could still not go. Say if I get beaten in the 77s.
Yeah, by kilo. And a percentage of Sinclair.
Exactly. So
that's
it's
shit,
pretty
isn't it? Kind of shit,
that's
but
tough.
I don't know.
Nah, it's
Maybe
shit.
both ways, though,
It's
surely.
definitely shit because, for many years, it wasn't
It wasn't like that. Last Commonwealth
that.
Games, you just had to be top 8.
Yeah.
You'd get in, and I'd feel a lot more secure about what I have to do if that was the process.
Yeah.
But that's not it. So I just got to. If you're asking me what I need to do, I need to be the best.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is, what you really need is the aim of weightlifting anyway. You got to be the best.
100%.
So,
Where are you looking in terms of that? How close are you to being the best?
well,
Pretty close.
who knows? It really depends on what the other people do.
Yeah.
But
It's a pretty hotly contested division.
If you're going based on what numbers people are lifting right at the moment, my best weights are 130, 160. I need to do at a minimum 135, 165. So I can improve 10 kilos in total.
Wow.
But that's at a minimum.
Really?
I might need to do more than that. You never
So
know.
who's the number 1 guy you're
So
competing
number
against?
1 guy I'm competing against is Francois Tundi.
Yes.
And he is a bit of a freak. He can do, he can snatch close to 140 when he's on. Things done I've seen him snatch 140 from the box, and I know he can snatch 135 pretty easily.
Right.
And I think last Commonwealth Games I think he attempted 177.
Yeah, for the
I'm
silver.
not sure if he got it, but that's a big fucking clean and jerk.
Yeah,
and
especially
he
if
was
you
number 1 in the country at the time.
Yeah.
But he's getting a little long in the tooth. So you don't really know what he can do. You don't know what stage of his career he's at. His body might be breaking.
'Cause he doesn't compete much either, does he? You don't see him too often?
No, not really. Well, he's one of those blokes. He can be down for a competition. He just won't lift.
Yeah.
Just forget to rock up or something like that. You know, and then he's like a rock star.
Is he from Cameroon as well?
He's from Cameroon.
Yeah.
He'll like rock up in like jeans and sunglasses, take them off like he's a fucking detective from one of those CSI shows.
Like he's a knob.
Like a knob. Yeah.
Like a total knucklehead.
Do you remember? I have not competed in or trained in months, and I will. You know, just bang out these ridiculous weights because he's just a physical freak.
Do you remember like Akon from like like Akon back in the day? Like
Shit, yeah.
He's like Akon, but like just as he got famous.
Right.
Remember the look he'd have, like the blue jeans, they're like, you're man. Like, that's him to a T.
Right. Stuck in like 1990, but in 1996 clothing and stuff too.
Yeah.
1996.
Listen to Crazy Frog as he walks in. Like,
heard this track, boys? Bing, bing. I remember one of the
He
funniest...
just came in Cameroon. It's a big song.
It's a crazy snap.
the Cameroon iTunes charts are just broken because Crazy Frog just had 3,000 more hits. As soon as this show drops.
It was pretty funny. I went away on a trip with him and... Like,
Zach was touring.
Yeah, when I was touring in my awkward sitting when people play music. Anyway, and he goes to me, you know, man, I do. I'm sorry if anyone's listening to this.
Sorry to everyone.
You know, man, I do 320. I do 320 next competition, no worries. And I come to this next competition like 6 months later. I rock up. He's standing at, like, if you go to the Victorian Weightlifting Centre, you walk up and the scoreboard's on the roof. I walked in and I looked at him and I was standing next to him and I go, well, cock, that's not 320. And he just looked at me. I think he did like maybe 305 or something. Like, still fucking big weights.
320 is a massive total, by the way.
Yeah.
That's huge.
So
anyone listening, this is 77 kilogram category. All these numbers we're talking, just to get a bit of a reference point to what we're on about here.
5170. Something like that, isn't it?
It's 145, 180. You know,
It's
they're
huge.
ridiculous.
Yeah, they're massive weights.
Yeah.
So he's basically dreaming when he said that. Yeah, he's talking complete shit, basically.
Yeah.
If you say
I'm also going
320,
to tour the world with my music.
this guy's...
It was pretty funny. And he just stood there and looked at me. And he really liked me. And looks at me and goes, you don't understand, man. And just walked off.
Whereabouts is Cameroon? Is Cameroon
West Africa.
borders on Jamaica or?
No, not even. I thought you were asking a sensible question.
You don't, Sanka, you don't understand, bro.
I met this bloke from Cameroon, and dude, he was like...
It's near the West Indies.
Just from blood cell.
it's a Pan-African Caribbean accent that Zach's
maybe-
employing.
I kind of like to across many genres.
Yeah.
That's why he only needs one accent or two accents.
Two accents to
and
do
apply
everything.
to any
Greek
situation.
No, it's not good.
Josie,
Just tell me.
How nervous he is.
Tell me that you would like.
genuinely
Look
is.
at the sweat patch.
That's my nipples lactating.
Tell me that you would like some tomatoes. I just so happen to have it over here. Just say, I want some tomatoes.
The tomatoes, get the Dutch. Because you understand,
I've obviously never spoken to a Dutch person before. I've never heard that accent in the world. I've travelled extensively. I've never heard that accent anywhere.
My accents all come from him. Like,
So Zach's accents are just imitations of me doing accents.
So like they just get filtered down and they get poorer in quality.
Like Chinese whispers.
It's just terrible.
So what about you then, Zach? What are you going to do? We're talking Com Games.
Basically, he's the best in his divion. He's
number
just
one
got to
in
stay
country.
the best. He's just got to. All he's
In
got
all
to
of Kazakhstan.
do is not fuck up.
Yeah.
Why don't we tell the listeners what you've been dealing with mentally recently? Your ability to get yourself under the bar.
What do you mean?
Under the bus, did you say? Or?
You mean the inability to get under the bar?
Inability to get under the bar. You know that's we'll talk
Like,
about
so
that.
for me, like, I'm just like, my biggest weakness, like, everyone says, and I believe it slowly, that I got all these physical attributions and strengths, but my biggest weakness is my mental game, and I've always struggled with that. Like, so being able to have the self-confidence and self-belief to do the weights I need to is sometimes lacking, you know. Like Daniel, for instance, has been training like a machine, and then there's me, it's been training like shit.
Yeah.
Like absolute poo. Like, but it's not. It's also at the same time, like, you have bad weeks, you have bad months, you have bad years. So I get pretty down on myself about it, and I struggle pretty bad mentally. So I see a sports psych, your mate,
Yeah.
Michael.
Hang
Michael.
on. Hang on. Who's mate? Our mate.
Bill's mate, Tommy.
Episode 49 and 22 of the show, Michael Inglis.
Yeah, so I see work with him, and I struggle mentally, and so for me to go to the Commonwealth Games, I honestly believe I will, because at the end of the day,
It's important to have that.
Well, that's right, and if I do 45, 150, 180, 185, there's not many people that can do those weights, and there always someone comes out of the woodwork and makes have a go at it. No, I think that's why, for me, this big competition is important, because I might go and have a really good day, because you never know in weightlifting. You can train the house down and go out and feel like shit on the day, but recently I've just been feeling anxious and a bit crap, so I'm trying not to worry about it that much, because you can get all upset about it. Oh, I've got to do it, and I did that the other week, and that worked out well, didn't it?
Yeah.
So it's funny, because we were having the same conversation with Jared Fleming. Weightlifting is one of those ones where you have to be so on mentally up until, the actual completion of the skill takes 3 seconds, right?
Yeah,
and then you're under the bar. But all that time before and after the lift and before the next lift is just, you're all in your head. So I think more than anything, once the ball goes up in footy, that's just you and your mates for a quarter. So it's a lot easier just to go with the flow. So what's some of the stuff you sort of do that keeps you in that perfect frame of mind before you lift the bar?
What do you do?
Well, personally for me, it's I think there's an old quote which is you don't rise to the level of the occasion, you fall to the level of your training. And if you train one way and then expect to compete another, you're basically setting yourself up for failure. So for me, the trick is to just have an identical approach on 50 kilos when I'm warming up to when I'm going flat out. And then that's going to translate when I'm, say I'm in an anxious position in a competition, I don't know what the hell's going on or blah, blah, blah. I fall back on sort of my processes that I go through all the time when I train. So I'm not relying on that I'm going to find some crazy thing within me and I'm going to rise to the level.
Fight or flight.
Yeah, I'm going to do something
Doesn't work
amazing.
like that.
Because sometimes that does happen. Sometimes you have just an amazing day. You've been training poorly, and then you just pull something out of your ass, and you go, "Shit, that was awesome." But you can't rely on that. You need to rely on your training and
Routine.
yeah, exactly, and just make it your approach as consistent as possible.
Yeah.
And try to simulate competition environments as much as possible as well.
So do you have mental exercises or breathing exercises and things you do yourself? Or?
Breathing exercises. I don't know. I go through a sort of visualization. So I'm chalking up and I'm visualizing in my head of how I want the weight to look, how I want it to feel. And also I go through, sorts of things where I berate myself and call myself a weak piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. Oh. That doesn't work for everyone, but for me, that gets me. I don't know. I do a lot of self-talk. Sometimes it's negative, sometimes it's positive. And, there's lots of things. Basically, you got to do whatever gets you up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to figure that out yourself along the many years of going through the process, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, I want to talk to you about... I felt like, and I obviously haven't been training at Phoenix for 6 months now.
Pussy.
And I feel like when you started seeing Michael Inglis, I feel like you went through a really good patch.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to you about it, and I haven't seen you lift as much, obviously, lately. Where were the benefits for you with dealing with a sports psych? What were you doing that changed in your approach that was getting good results, and where do you reckon you need to change it to get back there?
Well, I don't know, for me, I know for me, if I'm relaxed and having fun, and I know that sounds like a bit blasé, but because I do that in training, I'm not saying that I train pretty hard, I use a timer, I do all that kind of shit, I do the work, but if I'm relaxed and I train like that, then that's how I got to be in competition. It's the same, you train the same way as you play. I think with seeing a sports psychologist, it helped me initially with, just being able to talk to someone about, one, because I'm externally motivated and externally affected. Daniel finds it, I don't know, appears to find it pretty easy to come into the gym and leave it at the door, where I'll have an external problem that will follow me into the gym, and I find it hard to shake that off.
Yeah.
So being able to talk to someone about it, was good. I talk to Daniel about shit all the time. He knows the deepest, darkest secrets of mine. Shut
Maybe
your...
fucked up.
We're talking about
Let's be honest. That'd be fucked.
It's one time in Tasmania.
Someone's going to carry that burden.
Basically, he gets...
Rhymes with grape, and we're going to leave it off the show for today. It's a personal subject.
Basically, he gets a carer's allowance. But you know, like so, being able to talk to someone.
Rape joke. Shouldn't have done a rape joke.
I thought I could just move on from it. Just like
I thought it was a grape joke. You alluded to it and then you just said it. Way to ruin it, Bill.
no.
Carry on.
And you tell me beforehand, you can't say these things. Like fuck me. I'm telling you my Indian story later. No.
We'll tell Chloe. We'll talk about Chloe at some point.
Oh, Chloe.
Never told that story on the podcast.
Well,
anyway.
Why am I getting excited? I don't even know who she is.
Go on. Keep going.
Sorry to cut you off. Before we go any further, you can't make a rape joke and then talk about a chick's name like that. So,
yeah. Okay, let's go. Okay.
Everyone who's about to turn off the show, no one has raped anyone here. And we are completely against that. I'm sure Chloe's a lovely lady.
I think we need to. Let's clearly Chloe's story up.
Lovely lady.
Let's just we can go back to me.
Should I spill the Chloe beans?
Oh, Chloe beans all over the place.
We should sooner rather than later.
So I've only told this story to about 5 people in my life. I think you've heard it, Tommy. You were the first person I told, and I think you would have heard Katzy as well in the telling with Zac or whatever. So this is quite possibly the strangest thing that's ever happened to me in my whole entire life. And I've had some strange shit happen to me, as you guys all know. So I went to visit my mate Tommy Goldner one day to talk about getting him something to do with photography because he's a photographer, and it was out in Kensington or North Melbourne or something, and I drove out there. He was, I think, maybe showing me how to use my SLR better. Right. Anyway, he's got this photography studio. He's showing me around. Awesome joint out there. Great guy, Tommy. Anyway, I keep getting this phone call. I got a phone call from Woz, my mate Woz, and I saw it ringing. I'm like, it's Woz. I just put it on silent. I'll call him back. And then Tommy's walking me around his studio, and my phone keeps ringing. I saw it ringing 10 times, but I couldn't see who it was. Anyway, I'm like, it must be Woz. I'll get straight back to him. I pick up my phone as I'm leaving, and it was an unknown number, and I had 10 missed calls from an unknown number. I thought, this is really strange. So anyway, I sat in my car, and it was the unknown number again. I thought, I better answer it. I said, hello? And then, so it's silence, and then I hear...
And I was like, Dad, how are you?
Anyway, so...
Tommy?
So I'm like... And then I said, hello? Hello? And then silence again, and... all right, something's fucking going on here. My mates are punking me for sure. Like, who is this? What's going on? Oh, who is it? Who is that? Who's there? And then it was, and I realised it was a girl. Yeah. Like, it was a girl, 100%. I'm like, fuck, this is pretty fucking weird.
That's great. That's great.
I'm like, hello. And then, so she starts moaning really, really fucking loud, getting right into it. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, this is a good punking, because this is like, I'm on, IMO, this is Ann, and we're on. Anyway, so, and then she starts to talk to me. She started saying, hi, Bill, I want you to know that I'm playing with myself. I think of you. Yeah. So, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? Who am I talking to?
Dad, I told you, mate.
Yeah. Anyway, so she starts literally moaning, fucking like you wouldn't believe, going pretty. I'm thinking, okay. At this point, I'm thinking this isn't my mates taking the piss out of me, because no chick would go to this extreme. So I'm like, all right, fuck this. You're going to tell me. Who am I talking to? Where are you? I'm coming around right now. She goes, it's Chloe. Anyway, she goes, it's Chloe. We met a few months ago in Caulfield or in Caulfield or something. I said, Chloe, who? What are you talking? She goes, it's Chloe, blonde hair Chloe. She goes, stop asking questions. Talk dirty to me. So literally, it's 4 p.m. I'm sitting in Kensington with a real rock hard dick. I'm out front of my mate's joint. I said, all right, I'm real bad at this. I'm sticking it in your bum.
Oh, no.
I'm sticking it in your bum. I think, I really like it. Oh, yeah, it's good.
Jump straight to anal.
You can't do that, mate.
I hope you use lube in your fucking visualisation.
For the sake of the story, I may have skipped a line or two, right? So I didn't go, you know, how are you straight up the bum? Or,
Up the hooks,
yeah, up the so anyway, so she kept going, talked dirty to me. She started talking dirty back to me.
Stop. Did you know?
No, so at this point I'm thinking, all right, I'm really racking my brain. I'm like, is it like society's weird, you know? Like people do some pretty crazy shit. I'm thinking at this point, you know, when you got a boner, we were talking about this earlier. When you got a boner, you don't think straight. You don't think straight. So in my head, I'm like, is it socially acceptable if someone caught me pulling my dick right now in my car in the middle of Kensington 4 p.m? Like, would that be weird?
Fine.
Like, it wouldn't be weird, would it? Like, this is in my head. I'm like, this would be totally sweet. This would be totally sweet.
What seems to be the problem, officer? Mate, are you serious?
So anyway,
you haven't done that.
Moral of the story. This chick tells me to keep talking dirty to her. So talking dirty, she's talking dirty back to me. Gets to the point, she goes, "Shut up, stop talking." And then she just starts going, comes obviously, like finish. She goes, "Oh my god, you are the greatest. I fucking love you." I said, yeah, cool, no worries. You can't leave it at that. You have to fucking tell me who you are. You can't do this to me. She goes, my housemate just came around. I'll call you back. No, I'll send you a picture in 10 minutes. She said I'll send you a picture. That's right. I'll send you a picture in 10 minutes. I'm like, yeah, sweet. Never heard from her again.
So this is the mysterious Chloe. So when Bill told me this, we were in the old Phoenix weightlifting club, and I'm just like glued to him, just like, what?
Remember we went through all my old Facebook events, all the Chloe's on anyone and everyone's Facebook. We were hounding trying to find who this
I even
mysterious
jumped
Chloe
in.
was.
I was like searching. I was going through yellow pages, like Chloe, Port Melbourne, Chloe. Well, you were South Melbourne then, weren't you? Yeah.
Dude,
you know what?
Chloe's
Chloe's an alias.
Fucking weird.
Isn't that strange as fuck?
So-
and I've only ever told that to. No shit, I tell
3,500, 4,000 people.
Yeah, like you can't pretend you haven't told everyone out, Bill.
No, but in all seriousness, I've told a lot. Love telling the funny stories that have happened to me. Like I'm a storyteller when I'm around my mates.
Yeah.
I've really withheld that story from telling so many people because it's like at the start I was like, no one will believe me.
Nah.
Like no, everyone will go fuck off, mate.
No one does.
Yeah.
So Bill, if you could have some lasting words to say to Chloe, if she's listening right now, what would you say?
Chloe, if you are listening, my dear, I would.
Let me just put some background music on.
Chloe, if you are out there, Chloe, I've recently become single, and if you'd like to call me up again and go through the same process, then I will masturbate in front of everyone, and it'll be really strange. I've gone too far. I'm embarrassed with myself, and I love you, Chloe.
Sexual?
I love you.
This is like love song dedication. Remember love
Did you
song
want to go
dedication?
through the same process? What a terrible deal. You want to go through that again?
Yeah, but it's that bit of mysterious.
This is the shittest line.
Repeat
I just tell stories, not make gags.
Yeah, you shit at jokes.
I'm shit at jokes.
It's worse than Tommy.
Man, Tommy, talk about this. Tommy's the gags man. I should just stick to stories.
Whoa,
Yeah.
hang on. Him?
Okay.
Yeah, he's played it wrong.
Mate, I've got a gag. I'm a gag.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, go on.
I can imagine.
Zac, talk about seeing moustache.
Well, I had a beard and then had a moustache.
Okay.
Now,
So
I've got
what's
a question for you quickly. Is it A, moustache,
Yeah.
or B, moustache?
Well, there's a C there.
It's mustache.
Yeah, no.
You fucking idiot.
I know that. But people always get it, not moustache.
Mustaka.
Yeah, well, I
Mustaka.
thought that D was going to be mustache.
Moustache.
It's a mustache.
Mustache.
I'm not. What are
It's a
you,
me,
fucking
moustache.
Mario? Hey, it's a Mario.
The thing that I like
That's
about
good.
Zach's mustache now is he used to go for like a sort of Eastern European
look
one.
like
where it was like
East German special police kind of
yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Hey,
At least
this is
now
a
it's like a sort of
Commonwealth
semi-handlebar. I can deal with that a little bit more. The East German one, I was like, God, this guy's an intelligence officer.
Yeah.
He's gonna steal me. He's gonna steal my family. Yeah. This is like hostel.
Hey, East Germany wasn't North Korea.
Hey, so we were talking about
Yeah, we were talking about mental stuff.
your sports
Psychology.
and stuff. I don't know where we cut you off, but yeah, where do you find the benefit for yourself with that?
Oh, 100%.
Trying to get us back on track here.
Yeah, sorry about that.
We need to start
We're
on
going to
stage.
move off of Chloe and Bill masturbating in front of people back to...
Oh, I said that. Fuck.
I know, how embarrassing.
Anyway,
The lucky thing is you
it's
can
all
edit
good.
that out.
Nah, but I don't. We don't.
There's no editing going.
This is the real Bill.
Oh, this is
Fortunately,
real
this
Bill.
is me.
Hey, I'm kind of thinking
We
we get
love
you know
you,
well.
Bill.
I know.
Anyway, continue your story.
Yes, Dad. Well, I think just being able to talk to someone, like, you know, a fair bit, is just good. Like, you go there once every 2 weeks and you can talk about, your training and, you know, like, you just have some, I don't know, it's really hard to explain, just having someone to talk to about your training.
Yeah.
You know, you can talk to your mates, you can talk to your girlfriend, you can talk to Bill about it, but it's never the same thing because they're looking at it subjectively. Is that the right word?
Well, they'd be looking at it from an objective point of view, yeah.
I don't know.
Same.
I
Don't
don't
worry.
know
Let me
what you
continue.
mean.
I'm trying to use big words, sound intelligent. Word of the day. Yeah. So like having someone there, it just doesn't pass judgment. I can't
That's
even
the
read.
word of the day right there, by
I
the
can't
way.
even read
For
that.
everyone at home, Bill has a word of the day booklet on his desk, and the word of the day is
Evanescent.
evanescent,
Which is
He's
to
a
be
really
the shit
shit
metal
band.
band where you sing about suicide.
Yeah, that was shit.
Nah, anyway, sorry, Zach. So,
So
just having someone to talk to.
someone to talk to, and
in
also
general.
make it logical because because I'm very emotionally and highly strung with my training.
Just a loser. Sorry, mate, that's pretty hard.
You know how we talked about before the podcast? Tommy, don't talk. Try that.
Sorry, mate.
I love you. Just like having that. Fuck, how many times am I going to have to say this? Having somewhere to talk about, and then they look at it from a logical position. So, like, usually what I'll do is I'll be illogical. I'll be like, I should be doing all this work, and fucking it's not working out. Oh, it should be amazing. It doesn't work like that. Like, progressions aren't linear. You don't always have good days. Life isn't always perfect. Shit happens. You train shit. You compete shit. You need to get the fuck over it. So, like, for me, the best thing I can do is, one, not worry about it. Two, put the work in. If I put the work in and don't worry about it in that order, I still fuck it up. So I like to not worry about it, put the work in, do everything I can, and then on the day I know that I've done enough.
Yeah, I guess the hard thing is though is putting the work in despite the fact that you're not feeling good on the day.
Yeah,
So-
it's horrible.
Yeah.
So when I say putting the work in, that necessarily doesn't mean training. Like, take this week, for instance. I think it's a really good example. I always get a massage every week off my girlfriend. She's the shit. She's best Dan gets massages off her too.
Yeah.
Not at the same time, but
sometimes at the same time.
Yeah, that's weird. Anyway, so I get a massage Sunday. I woke up Monday morning, felt like I did on Sunday afternoon. Hadn't changed anything, so maybe she's not that good. And then I was like, I'm going to go to the gym Monday, and I'm going to have a good session. Got to the gym on Monday and was like, all right, I've been fucking carrying sheets of 3/6 timber up these stairs to lay this floor, and my back's a bit crook, and I just feel like ass. All right, moved around a little bit, went home, did some mobility, did a little bit of meditation. Was still feeling kind of pretty shit. Not necessarily in training, but just like about myself at that point in time. And then, Tuesday, I said, fuck it, I'm just going to, go do a little bit, move around again, and go get a massage. Went and did that. Wednesday, came in, was like, all right, I feel good, I'm going to have a good session, body's starting to feel good. I got pinned. My best clean jerk's best clean is 185, best clean jerk 183. I got pinned on a clean on 155, and Daniel's like, just leave it at that, mate. Just maybe do some squats.
Yeah.
Took 180 out of the rack, back squat, best back squat of like 255 or something.
Yeah.
Took it out of the rack. I'm like, I'm just going to put that back in there. So I knew at that point when my knees are that sore and my body just feels that shit on squats, because I'm all right at squats. I was just like, you know what, just chill. Went home, meditated, fucking.
I got a question for you. Did it make a difference when you went home that night? I'm not even sure if you did this. Did you go and eat more carbs?
Yeah, so you raised that issue the other day. Is like, you're like, you need to have some more carbohydrates. I did introduce them after I stopped sooking about it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get I'm like, Daniel give me advice as I do to him, and I'll be like, well, that's not right, I'm doing everything, leave me alone. But yeah, so I went home and had some more carbohydrates, ate 17 sweet potato.
Way to go.
Now I'm 123 kilos.
But do you feel
And
better? Do you feel better?
All I did is, like, what we talked about is I just introduced carbohydrates into my first meal, into my middle meal of the day, because there wasn't enough in the middle of the meal, and definitely not the beginning of the morning.
Yeah, well, I think one of the big things that has changed is you are doing more physical labouring
Well, that's right, 'cause-
stuff now, and
yeah.
you probably haven't modified your diet in order
Accordingly to what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because
in order to
that's-
sustain that.
Yeah, like even if you're on a shit day, like not being able to squat 180 is ridiculous.
Yeah, considering your best back squat's like,
That's what I'm saying.
nearly 100 kilos more.
Yeah, that's right. So you must have been nothing. Like, were you hungry going into that, or?
No, that's the thing. Yeah. I generally just like, because I was like a trainer full time for 4 years. I still am a trainer. I still train the exercise, fast racing, and the weightlifting.
The fast racing.
And
CrossFit.
The CrossFit. So I did that for a long time. And then I was like, I want to buy a house and I want stability and I don't want to subcontract anymore. So I was like, I'm going to go become a carpenter again because I qualified chippy. I was like, I'm going to be a carpenter 3 days a week, make really good money. That worked out really well to no one fucking paid you. And then I finally got a good gig and we're based around in Port Melbourne, Cleverty Candyman. It's cool. Yeah. But it's like I was eating the same amount to maintain body weight, but I was exerting myself tenfold, Like, you'd be framing walls in.
Manual
labour,
like
fuck yeah.
Trading work takes it. Fuck. I've been walking around on roofs 40 hours a week, past and shit. I mean, that definitely takes it right out of you.
But it's
like you need to eat enough. You need to eat 3 fucking square meals a day to support that.
That's right. And then with training on top of it.
Yeah, you got to have food for training.
I would say my thing is my nutrition is bang on. I'm just fucking really like sweet stuff. And I eat way too much. So I would, if I had to pull myself, like when you said introduce carbohydrates, I dished up the carbs that I was going to have that night and I was like, I'm going to have this. And I looked at that and gone, mate, it's fucking 4 sweet potatoes in that. Settle the fuck down.
Yeah. It was that much?
Yeah, so I just cut it in half and then I cut it into 3 and I had 3 meals worth, for the next couple of days.
You do eat very well, but I mean, like, for instance, I went over to his place the other night.
Or when we were in India. Remember in Malaysia and we're sitting in the... I think that story is really funny. Remember where you're like, mate, fucking slow down. Eating fast.
Oh yeah, basically Zac just devours food at a rate that I've never seen anyone else do. He can basically eat a large Parma in like 4 mouthfuls. And I'm only like half joking because it's ridiculous.
It's absurd. It's fucked. I used to be able to eat a foot-long Subway in 100 metres.
In 100 metres?
Yeah, because when I was like a young kid.
What are you talking about there?
I'll explain it to you.
The way I normally think of like how quick you can do things is normally time to make. Okay. No, so this is where you're wrong.
Desk of cheats.
Let me explain. Let me elaborate.
He's talking in the speed of light kind of. He's bringing it back to like the speed of light. It's how quickly you can eat.
From Mars to
Yeah.
So
but the reason you don't believe in the measurement of distance to measure things like food opposed to time is because you're confined to the round Earth theory. Fake news and CNN. It's just all over it. And Al Jazeera. And all the others. Now back to the other thing. So when I was a kid, I grew up in Tassie. It's okay, Daniel.
Yeah.
I grew up in Tassie and I started weightlifting there at Elizabeth College. And my mum used to pick me up after work on Saturday, so she'd finish work about 3 o'clock. She'd swing past and pick me up. And I'd always ring her on the way. It's like, the old brick phones. I'd be like, Mum, get me some food. And she's like, yeah, no worries. She was a hairdresser, so she'd work near a Subway. So, she'd get me a Subway, like a foot-long Subway, chicken teriyaki, extra cheese.
Oh, I love the chicken teriyaki from Subway.
Fucking.
That was my go-to, mate.
She'd pick me up. It was 100 metres from... Because we used to do runs. It was 100 metres from the bottom of the gym, like at the car park, to the top gate. And in the time it would take her to pick me up, get in the car, open the Subway to the gate, I would have eaten that. So we're talking like 4 seconds.
This is a 100-metre drive.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about walking.
Yes, so did I.
And I was like, that's pretty fast. 100 metres in a car.
Yeah. I visualised your mum dropping you off at the bottom of the hill. She's like, all right, I've got the timer ready, and go. And she'll just get you to run, and then a Subway. So,
yeah,
but you guys are close,
that.
His mum told me a story when I was up in Tassie about a time that she dropped Zac off, and I think he was like 5 or 6, and she put him in the house. And then went downstairs to talk to their tenant.
The house had been
and at the top of it, and she'd bought an entire.
It was like when I was like 10.
She bought an entire chicken for the family to eat. Yeah. She went downstairs, talked to this bloke, came back upstairs, and Zac had eaten the entire chicken. And we're talking like he's like
it wasn't downstairs. It was like a 400-meter walk across a fucking paddock to our second house because we lived
you
above
still
it.
ate a whole chicken.
Yeah, the point of the story is
I
the
ate a
chicken
whole
thrown
chicken
where it was
in,
eaten.
in like 7
And you would
minutes.
have been
I ate a
like
whole
grade 1
Oh,
or
that's
2.
a total lie, mate. It wasn't a chicken, it was a duck. It was 2 chickens.
No shit, this fucking
Was it
chicken, they were
turducken?
big chickens back in the day. Because you remember, like, shit was always a little bit bigger, like Maxi Buns when you used to get them. Not that I've ever had one.
yeah.
They were always bigger.
Yeah.
You know, now they're fucking small. This chicken was huge.
Gravity.
Gravity.
That's what gravity does. You know, presses down on anyone with me. You know? What the fuck you talking? Yeah, anyway, so you ate a duck.
Go over there and watch your Alex Jones podcast and just settle the fuck down. But yeah, so like, where
So
were
you
we?
used to eat a lot.
Yeah, I just basically eat way too much. So like,
Oh yeah, no. So we're talking about in Malaysia.
Yeah, and
that I told him to slow down when he eats because I was like, how about you chew?
I don't
and
chew.
see what happens then. So what you've put a timer
There's a
use
thing
it-
called
I use it-
flavour, and it'll hit your tongue and it'll your taste buds,
Mate,
and you'll
it
taste
should
good.
No, worry about that.
Don't just put it down your throat like a pelican.
So take for instance, I ate my 10-minute, put a 10 to 12 minute timer, and sometimes if I don't have that, my girlfriend will sit there and go, right, eat it slowly, and I'll
Not
be like,
sex for you.
yeah, but didn't you?
I eat like a fucking camel.
Disgusting eating in the
No,
world.
I think Tina said that he was
Let's go out loud, please.
kind of cheating with the timer though, because he put on a timer like to eat like one meal in like 15 minutes.
Fucking
and then
life
Tina's
hack.
like, he's just treating it like an AMRAP, like trying to eat as many meals as you can in 15
In that
minutes.
time period.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's not actually eating any slower.
All right, so do you have to watch how much you eat then as well?
Yes, 100%.
So your weight class is
105.
105. Okay. And how many?
Plus,
Yeah. So the plus, can you be over or?
No, you got to be under, Bill.
Yeah, you gotta be under 105.
hey mate,
Yeah.
I should be telling you.
What? So, yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
So, no, not.
And so what do you do?
Oh,
So do
shit.
you
Broke
train,
that.
Do you train it like a certain
Well,
weight?
see, I'm pretty bad. Like, I've always been since I started weightlifting, I was always between like 95 kilos
Yeah.
and 110. Like that 15 kilo range. And like, I get up to my heaviest when I'm just a glutton of a human being.
Yeah.
I get up to like probably like 110, 111.
Yeah.
Like, and generally I sit between 107, 105.
Okay.
Like, I'm pretty comfortable at the moment at about 10, 106 and a half, 107. So, like, you know, no problem with that. And, like, you know, I retain a lot of fluid. Like, I'm fucking pretty bad for that because I drink gallons of water. If you could see by the size of my drink bottle, it's a
That is
44-gallon drum.
Yeah, it's a gallon.
It's
gallon right
64
there.
ounces, clean canteen. It's fucking
Desk of
huge.
cheese.
I've checked into desk of cheese.
And so they put
My
that
unit
in,
of measurement.
Yeah, I know. I said that.
Yes.
It's a bound to go from.
Yeah, but, you know, like, so I just have to watch what I eat. You know, I've got a bit of a sweet tooth as well. But when I'm training well, I, you know, I try and eat as best I can. And I'm pretty lucky. Like, my girlfriend's switched on as fuck with her nutrition. She works as pretty good chiro clinic and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm pretty lucky like that. So my nutrition's got better. And I've seen a lot of people over the years. I've seen dietitians, nutritionists, and you don't necessarily stick to one method. You just adapt their theories to what you need. And that everyone will tell you that. And it's just, so I've just slowly implemented little bits and pieces. And I notice a direct change between one, eating slower, two, you know, like just the quality of your food. You know, I don't know if I'm getting older or stuff like that. I think it's more, I'm just becoming more aware as I get older of what is good quality. And I do find the difference is a lot amazing, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
And like, I think a lot of times, like, I remember weightlifting comps, like, nutrition was always a little bit neglected. Before CrossFit, like, we knew fuck all. Like, basically, I knew something, but we still knew fuck all.
No, weightlifting comps have changed a lot. It used to be all meat pies and like you'd walk
maybe
into
at Macca's, you'd rock up to
walk
Hawthorn?
into a weightlifting comp and you'd just be hit by the smell of tomato sauce and like pastry.
Yeah, tomato sauce and deep heat.
And deep heat, and it's just this like I think I get
Fucking
flashbacks
Like a footy
when I-
club.
when I hear those. Yeah, basically.
Tomato sauce, but I wouldn't put it on a pie.
bit warm,
That's
menstruating.
weird shit right there. I like that.
We're hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Finalkin.
Yeah.
On a,
And then
I think the whole world's a little bit like that.
I remember when Rob...
Like, you know, like footy clubs used to be like we at the footy club
Cigarettes.
I played at, yeah, like guys having cigarettes in between the quarters, and
Yeah.
then like beers straight after the game. Like a lot of footy clubs don't have like beers straight after the game anymore, and you know, stuff like that. Like I think the world's a lot more nutrition and diet conscious
The
now.
world- the
you
world's
know?
yeah,
change.
probably aware
Yeah.
of the impact that like club culture can have on groups and people at the club. Like
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. That was a big thing. That was a big thing with the footy club getting rid of the beers. And a couple other things that they did was because it just was, exactly 100% bad for the culture.
Yeah.
You know, like the culture at the footy club I played at was fucking terrible. Like, I love the joint. I love most of the people there, but I mean, they got so far away to go. And I mean, we don't need to go into footy clubs, but my mate, the funny thing you talk about, like the beer and the culture at footy clubs, like I had a mate, Brado, who played for Rye at our footy club and then also played for Dramana, and he played with me. Everyone's looking at my tattoo. He played with me in this premiership. This one here. Anyway, he played for Rye, then he played for Dramana, then he came back to Rye.
Is that under 12s?
And no, my friend, it's senior football.
So how old does that make you, Bill?
But how fat does it make you feel to be? Anytime Zac gives me shit about being old, I give him shit about being fat. But
It's because you're old.
It's my comeback. But he Dramana. My point was that Dramana Football Club had a change in their culture where they didn't serve beer after 8 p.m. at the club anymore, and it totally changed the club. Like, it was just the fucking happiest place to be around.
Maggoted before 8 p.m.
Well, everything bad happens after 8 p.m. You know, like,
That's true.
Good. Everything good, but everything bad as well.
Good bad. I know.
And the thing is, I find drinking habits, especially, they stay with you for life. I mean, that's why I always hear people going on about like, oh, geez, I'm getting older. I just can't drink this the way I used to. I'm like, yeah, mate, you're trying to drink
like
the way you did when you were 16 and 18. When you would drink like 12 beers in a night out and
shots at the bar
and smoke a deck of cigarettes. You can't do that anymore, especially when you're not conditioned for it.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like, you think that's the way to drink, and it's like, no, that's not normal.
Nah.
And then you talk to people like, we got a mate at gym, Toby, and he's Italian, like he's proper Italian.
Ferrucci.
Yeah, Ferrucci. And he's like, they drink wine at dinner every night, and
that's
one of those sorts of people.
His culture is far.
But then you find out that like wine in Italy is like 4%. It's like there's barely any alcohol in it, and they never get drunk.
Yeah.
Like you talk to people from France, and you're talking about getting pissed, and they're like, we've never get pissed. That's like an uncouth, uncultured thing to do.
Yeah.
That's what peasants do.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought that's the point of drinking.
Yeah.
I thought that's why you did it. And
100%.
it turns out some cultures drink for the taste of it.
Well,
which I found strange.
I think the peasant Eastern Bloc countries like, Croatia, Bulgaria, because my last name being Croatian, I'm pretty sure they get pissed to talk about the war and really racist.
I for the first time now in my life can go out for a couple of beers. Like, I'm one of those people that just has the culture of just like, I would either drink. Beers. Yeah, I would either stay sober and hang out with people. Like, I'd go out to dinner and hang out and like have a good meal and chat with my friends or whatever, and I'd just be sober. Or I would drink and I would get hammered.
Yeah.
Like, that was it. One way or the other, Like, now I'm 31 and I'm like, oh yeah, I can have a couple of beers and dinner and or a fucking glass of wine or whatever. But I mean, it's never been in my vocabulary because I was brought up just like you drink to get pissed.
100%.
And it's but that's Australia. 100%. That's just the way.
It's Australia because in Europe they introduce drinking at a very young age, and they do it as in you're supposed to have it on the dinner. Like it's supposed to complement the food. Like, do it to get fucked up.
Yeah.
Come on now, son.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be interesting what the culture would be like here if we didn't have like a legal drinking age.
Well, that's interesting because apparently, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but apparently in Portugal they legalized heroin.
They've legalized. That's actually a thing.
They've legalized like really hard drugs.
Yeah,
and the thing is, the rate like drug addiction has dropped, and there is no drinking age in Portugal. Yep. And they have less alcoholism.
Well, that's really funny.
So, like, I was thinking, like, when someone told me that there's no drinking age, I was like, that's crazy. Like, I was thinking what that would mean in Australia, and it's probably the fact that we're not allowed to drink at a certain age, 100%. And it becomes taboo, and it becomes this sort of rite of passage thing that you do.
But you also want to do everything that you're not allowed to do.
Exactly.
Like, if you're not allowed to drink beers, you're not allowed to smoke cigarettes, you're not allowed to drive cars. Like, you want to go and steal your mum's car and take it for a lap around the block when she's when you're 17 years old or 16 with your mates because you're not allowed to do it. You're like, oh my god, look what we're fucking doing.
Yeah.
Like, you take away that aspect for children Because that's a big thing for kids. Like, you want to be able to tell your mates what you've done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, like,
exactly.
I did this, I did that. Oh, did you hear what fucking Billy did? He did that.
Yeah.
Like, if there's none of
We had
that,
a beer.
then there's,
Meanwhile, there's some kid in Portugal going, "Oh, I did some heroin when I got home," and his friend's like, "You fucking idiot."
Yeah.
it's
Like,
so
why'd
mature.
Why'd you do that? How can you play soccer? You fucking idiots.
You know, with that Portugal thing, like Portugal was like with the GFC and like the financial crisis, was like the hardest hit country, and their drug rate increased like tenfold. So like they went from like, I don't know, I would say X number X to fucking big X, XXX, 3X, you know, and then they were the first ones to come out of the GFC, and they were the first country in Europe to legalise, you know, hardcore drugs.
So when you say
And
How's it work, though? Is there safe injecting
That's what I was about to say.
rooms and stuff?
There's safe injecting rooms, and so the safe injecting rooms, obviously, you know, they've got nurses and stuff like that, and that decreased because people were like, well, you know,
what the fuck am I doing?
yeah, like, you know.
But also, there's measures in place for when people are... I mean, there is in Australia, but, I mean,
Well-
you still... The thing is, like, if you take away any drug that we have here, like, or you make it illegal, you can't stop people from doing it.
No,
it's
You
like
can't-
with heroin.
the people are still going to be heroin addicts if they want to be heroin addicts,
No,
you know?
well, that's the thing with heroin. Like they know that heroin is basically less harmful than cigarettes to you. Like what in terms of its direct like things that it does to you, but it's all the other things that are associated with like heroin
with addiction.
addiction, like prostitution and lack of sleep and all that sort of stuff.
Anxiety.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
escape.
And you stop sleeping, you stop doing all sorts of things, and that's how.
Stop eating, probably.
Yeah, exactly. So if you have safety nets, these drugs become a lot less harmful, and people, you know, don't have to fall back on crime in order to sustain their habits. And
Have you heard of the methadone project, or not project, but like what it does? So I know a recovering heroin addict. So he got off of heroin, you know, 5-6 years ago. Been a heroin addict since he's like 18, and he's on methadone.
Yeah.
That's the only way he can function. So basically, because his body's been abused to the hard substance for so long, he's just like, oh, well, this is on a disability allowance, disability pension, and they prescribe methadone to him. He has to take every morning. You know, I don't know too much about methadone or what they have. Is it a tablet? Is it injection? You know, is it IV once a week? I don't know fucking anything. But I know for a fact that, you know, he has to take that to manage his addiction, because what also makes people relapse is the more times you try and quit from heroin, cold turkey, the higher chance of you relapsing. And the second, say you give up like tomorrow and then you go back into it, you're then going to fall back into the habit, but twice as hard.
Yeah.
Really?
You know?
Like, oh, it's been so long, bang on it. But the whole
But you're also like giving into yourself as well.
That's
so
right. You're like,
losing
oh,
that.
fuck it, you know.
You're another time you've lost that trust in yourself to be able to actually
exactly.
stay off it. You know.
And the biggest thing about what we were saying before about how rules are made to be broken, the dopamine, that feel-good response, that hormone that's sort of excreted in our body and through the brain, the biggest factor associated with the dopamine release is temptation and desire. So like when you have sex with someone you want to have sex with for ages, or you do something you've been wanting to do for ages that's so tempting, that's when you get such a big dopamine release. So if you didn't have that idea that drugs were against the law, and you know, we don't have that like Adam, that sort of creationist view of desire and stuff, we wouldn't have it at all. It'd just be like another thing. Like, I just might go get an ice cream. Be the same thing as fucking putting drugs.
Yeah.
Well, that's why when you do something for the first time, it's always the best.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, like
I can't wait to have sex.
the first time I smoked weed was like the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever experienced anything. I mean, that's the only drug I've ever done, so I'm not going to talk about anything else. But or just any first experience, and you're right, it's like the anticipation of an event. Like I went to Bali mid-year last year, and it's like the first time ever I have like just not completely winged a holiday. And I've actually planned it out and like, oh, we'll go to this place and do that, and actually made it a lot better because you were looking forward to things. And it's like that anticipation of an event was actually like, oh, fuck yeah, that's sick.
It helps the build up.
Yeah, way better.
It also helps that, you know, our girlfriends are pretty good planners. Because
No, well, that is the difference of going on a holiday with a chick.
yeah,
They actually-
my missus
they
has been planning
actually wanna
a trip
organise
to
things.
Vietnam for 8 months. So fuck me, looking forward to that one. I actually am. I'm not hanging shit on it, but like they plan. Girls will plan shit pretty well.
Stereotypically respect.
Yeah. So women are good for.
We're going to throw a nice big cover over all the ladies in the world.
All you do is
They're
all
also really good cooks. They're also really good.
Yeah.
I'm not big.
joking.
Yeah, it's so sexist, Zach.
Yeah. Get out.
all for equality. This podcast. Mate.
Yeah, I'm about
Women are
equality too,
shittest men at everything.
Oh dear, Daniel. Look, at the end of the day, at least you didn't crack a rape joke.
Yeah,
That's
true.
a fair point.
It was a great
Get out, Bill.
Crack-
I feel like Bill's hit the low point, so no matter what I say, he's never going to be that bad.
Yeah, you'll say it worse though. I'll get away with it. You won't. I don't know how, but you'll fucking somehow. Let's go to Tasmania. Let's take it to Tasmania, Zach.
Yeah.
So, Cassie, what about you, mate? How does your diet sort of change up and down in response to competition and the lead up to all that?
Well, yeah, I just basically start eating less. I mean, I eat the same, but less of it.
Yeah.
Essentially, I found in like recently, like maybe in the last 6 months, it's a lot harder for me to lose weight. Maybe Well, the thing is, I actually have a lot less fat on me. Like
you're pretty rich.
when I'm just
excited.
like, when I'm just
Nothing, everything.
when I'm just training, training, I'm like, I feel pretty, like, I don't feel sloppy or anything like that. And I'm sitting at about 80 kilos when I'm at training, and then I've got to lose 3, and it's not falling off me the same way that it used to. Like, when I used to weigh 80 kilos, let's say a year and a half ago, I'd be pretty fat.
So,
Well, like a bit
how long
pudgy.
does it take to lose that? Like, when do you have to start dieting?
You can lose 2. You can depends on the person.
Yeah.
Well,
But
I talked to like a Welsh lifter when we were in
Gareth
Malaysia.
Evans.
Gareth Evans. And he was saying that the best way is just try to get a kilo off a week.
Yeah.
So I got to lose 3 kilos. I just give myself, 3 weeks.
Yep.
Try to lose a kilo each week, and it just
Got a week, mate.
a little. Yeah, I know. Well,
What are you now? You're sitting at 87.
I'm sitting about 78.5.
Okay. Oh, shit.
So-
That's easy.
Yeah, this should be fine.
You got 8
You'll be
days,
right.
mate. You got 8 days.
Yeah, good days.
Because like
8 days,
your,
yeah, 8
your
days.
body goes into starvation mode in a sense, doesn't it? When you really cut. Oh well, no, that's not
But
really cut back.
Well,
It's-
the thing is, like, those last 3 weeks before a comp, you actually are some of your hardest weeks.
Yeah.
Because you're going heavy just before a comp and blah, blah, blah. And at the same time, you're also dieting.
Yeah.
So you're not...
Yeah.
For me, like, I'm not recovering the same weight because I'm not
That's
just shoving my face full of food. I'm like, I'll have like 2 eggs this morning instead of 4. And I won't eat this and I won't eat that. And, like, the weight just still is not falling off you. And you're like, Jesus, what do I have to do?
I kind of a little
You're
bit
just
different
becoming
now.
a man.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
metabolism is gradually slowing.
Your
Yeah.
mass
Like me.
is getting bigger.
So I'm the same. Like I could never put on weight, and then it would be easy for me to shed weight in a second.
Yeah.
Now I'm 31. It's not the case at all. I
But
can
you
put on
also
weight,
eat a
and I-
shit amount of shitty food.
Oh yeah, but I just
When he
mean
was
like
training, he
my
wasn't.
metabolism.
Yeah.
My metabolism in general has just slowed. You know, like I was
Yeah.
always a young bloke that was just lean as shit.
Yeah.
Could eat whatever he wanted at any
I
stage.
also think you just get thicker.
Yeah.
From like between the ages like 28, 30, mid 30s, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You just get bigger.
Definitely
I reckon.
thicker.
You start
Yeah.
to fill out a bit more.
Which is something that I'm really looking forward to. Because I'm weak as piss. It sucks, let me tell
See,
you.
you've got a good shape. Like you know what you are. You're like
I've got no
you
shape.
look good, but you're just
I just
not
suck.
good.
What about that
That's
chicken?
right, that's right.
What about
I
that
look
chicken?
alright, but I can't do anything.
Yeah, you're what I call an Italian sports car.
Yeah, it looks great.
Well, I don't
Looks
know.
great. Yeah, it goes
You like the
faster in
Ferrari with the
reverse.
vegetables inside that we were talking about the other day?
Last time I checked, Italian sports cars are pretty fucking good.
I'm a Ferrari made up of sweet potato, basically.
You're like a Fiat Panda.
What about that? What about that?
I like the look of them.
Now it's getting a little personal.
What about that Mexican chick that called us Los Spartanos?
What was that?
Remember that?
No.
The
Bill,
chick,
you're
that
fluent
Mexican
in
chick in the
Spanish?
hostel the other day that called us the Spartans.
The other day?
Yeah, the Spartans.
Oh,
The
yes.
Spartans.
Yeah,
yes.
you're mate.
Yeah,
You're
that's
good,
right.
mate. You're old, mate.
Oh yeah, tell me of a sneaky one.
Tell me
Yeah.
Tell me the sesh. Oh, mate, bone.
Tomes, make a love to me, dames.
Well, I mean, that wasn't like when you and I had made love, mate. So, that was good fun.
I was asleep,
Told
mate.
Tanya- Have you told Tanya?
Well,
I don't think she needs to know.
Yeah, that's right.
What we have between me and you and Bill is
Drag me into it.
Daniel holds the camera. Hey, because you've got to honestly make a living. And that's how we do it.
That's true. It's up there.
This comp on the weekend, this is a big step up for the AWF, I feel like. It hasn't been anything like this in a while, has there?
The AWF couldn't organise a root in a brothel with a fistful of 50s. Someone at Katz said, "No, look, they do a right
No,
job."
but I mean, like, this is a
I'm gonna
big.
get banned again.
It looks like a big comp. Like, it looks impressive from the outside looking in.
Yeah.
With Nurmagomedov or whatever however the fuck you say his name. Nurmagomedov. All these international guys coming over for a 3 day.
It's good, but I think that's more external. Like, I don't necessarily think the AWF would go, "Hey guys, you want to come down here and do this?" Like, they got it as an international. You can jump in any point when I get wrong.
Yeah. When I get wrong.
Like, it was originally the Australian International was like the club championships, which is a great competition. They changed the name because they wanted to, and then it became. They paid a fee to the International Weightlifting Federation, which is about as corrupt as FIFA, with a fuck ton less money. And then they did that, and they got a whole. Then that opened it up for guys from New Zealand, all of the South Pacific region, to come on down, all the oceanic countries to come on down. And then I think a weightlifting coach up in New South Wales, Ricky Gulimov, he obviously being Uzbeki, had connections with this bloke, and they bring him down, which I think is great for the sport generally in Australia, because you're going to get a shit ton of people going, "Oh fuck, this guy's an Olympian."
I agree.
I think it's a good thing, but it's just like things that the AWF are, not real organisers are like. It's supposed to be an Australian team, an opportunity for people that aren't in the Australian team, like me and Daniel both in the Australian team. We've competed internationally, so that's good for us for the Commonwealth Games. They're not going to name the team until, the finalisers of entries on the Thursday night, shit like that.
But the reason for that is like this, like say people who haven't yet qualified because they didn't lift in the last 6 months or whatever, they haven't had an opportunity to lift in an internationally designated competition yet. And that's the only way you can get onto the Commonwealth team. So, like, if you don't lift in one of these 4 events, which is like Nationals, the Australian International, I think the Oceania Championships and the Commonwealth Games trials, if you don't lift in one of those 4, you can't compete. So but they haven't mentioned the team yet, because they want to give people who maybe have a shot the opportunity to lift in the Australian team and then possibly
that's
qualify.
Fair enough. That's 100% fair enough. Like, that's right. What you said is right. But the problem is in that all the competitions that qualified for this ended last weekend. So, for instance, you think there'd be a process in play, and there probably is. I'm probably going to get an angry email from the AWF at some point. Where it could have been done the week before. There's just a whole heap of shit. Like, generally, we're pretty lucky we get our funding paid for. We go away on trips. We don't have to fundraise or any shit like that. So we're all right. We do all right.
Don't really have anything to complain about. And
it's just some of they're not very transparent.
This is all the logistics of you guys as athletes. I was more talking about, like, it looks like an impressive event for the growth of this sport. Because, obviously last year I went to Nationals. We all went to Nationals. You guys came first in the nation. I came about 480th. But
same as did in the Open, bro.
When I was up there, though, I was talking to like Harvey, talking to some of the older guys that have been around since back in the day, and talked about how big weightlifting was, like in the mid '90s even. Harvey was on Sail of the Century. He was on the Today Show with Kerry-Ann Kennelly. He was on this and that. Like he was in the Herald Sun fucking 10 different times. Whereas now there's no promotion of weightlifting in Australia. And I spoke to the guys and they're like, well, I said, how? He used to lift in nationally televised events in front of 5,000 people. I took a photo last year at the Nationals when Damon Kelly was about to lift. So 105's heaviest bloke, heaviest weight to be lifted in the fucking nation. Yep. And I took a panorama of the amphitheatre because it's a sick...
15 people.
There was literally fucking under 50 people. Yeah. And, I don't know how many people could sit there. A couple of thousand probably. I don't know. But it was an awesome stadium. Like, it was set up well. No one was there. Yeah. And I spoke to Harvey and some of the older guys, and they're like, it's just been a slow corrosion of the brand of Australian weightlifting due to the fact that there's no one fucking...
that also comes back to results.
No one planning, no one fucking doing exciting things to keep the sport growing, because that's why, like, when I saw this comp this weekend, I was like, oh, that's fucking good. That looks impressive. The Arnold's on, same weekend, and, like... The Arnold's on, people are going to be going that, but, like, fuck, you want to go see gold medalists in Hawthorn, like, you can, which is, it's good. It's good for the sport, because I think
it is good for the sport.
Just fucking
I think we've got to look at more positives in that regard, it's really good for the sport, but that all comes back to the fact that the AWF have been all over the show the last few years. They swap and change things.
It's other things as well. Like, you know,
We haven't got the lifters.
in the 80s. In the 80s when Harvey was lifting and Rob
this
was
is a big
lifting.
factor.
I mean, they had 8 guys lifting, you know, 300 plus. You know,
It's
just
75
the standard. The standard was so much higher.
So what's happening?
And it
But,
was
I mean,
just-
it's a chicken and the egg. It's a chicken and the egg. There's no one. There's probably fucking 1/5 the amount of weightlifters in Australia. 1/5 the amount of elite athletes that go out of high school and they go, fuck, I'm
wanna
strong
lift
and fit
weights.
and athletic. I'm gonna go lift weights and get on TV and be on Sale of the Century. Like, so I think you're right in what you say, but I think there's definitely a chicken and the egg thing going on there.
But no, this is what I was talking to, like one of the master lifters at the gym the other day. So he lifted with Rob as an 82 and a half or whatever in the 80s. And he said there were less people lifting back then, but the standard was higher.
Really?
So they had less of a pool, but the guys that were there
Were good.
Awesome. you know?
Interesting.
So his like participation rates, especially like with masters, are like going through the roof. Like
Really?
in Queensland, there are so many masters lifters now. They're getting more members all the time. But the problem is getting a young kid who starts weightlifting and keeping them long enough
To develop
to
them into
develop
something.
into a good lifter. I mean, like, it's taken me 12 years to get where I am, and I started when I was 13, and I was in the gym earlier than that. My dad's my weightlifting coach. I've been around weightlifting my entire life, and it's taken me this long. I mean, I only became... last year was the first time I won nationals, and it took me, 12 years to get there. Like, if you can't keep people in the sport, you're never going to get those results. And it's keeping people engaged, keeping people...
For sure.
You know, enjoying it, and blah, blah, blah. Which is why it's like there's always incentives to compete well because you get to go on international trips and blah, blah, blah.
You get to see a lot of the world for free.
So those kinds of things keep people in the game. But especially they have these problems in Queensland. They have these awesome lifters who are like great as juniors.
And they fuck off.
But they're not around when they're 20.
Yeah.
They stay around till they're 19 and they got better things to do.
Yeah.
So what do you think about... So CrossFit has obviously made weightlifting great. Like, it's... Sorry, to the people that... That's
I know.
As CrossFit boy over here.
I do.
Hey,
Jesus Christ.
Donald CrossFit over here.
We're lifting great again.
Do you want to build a fucking wall as
I'm
well?
pretty sure CrossFit's been in the Olympics for about 150 years now. And
That's so
No, we won't
Sorry.
rag on you too much, Tommy.
hell,
What
Tommy.
you meant?
Now tell us what you meant, mate.
Yeah, I'm trying to... CrossFit has meant that a lot of people that wouldn't be involved in any way in the sport are now involved.
Yeah.
And do you think, like, all that stuff that... So there was less people competing in the 80s, but they were better. Now that we have a lot more participation, it's going to be even more the opposite. So we're going to have a lot of people that are okay, good at it. Maybe there's some people that have started off doing CrossFit now and do weightlifting, but because they haven't specialised in the sport, we're probably going to go down on an international level.
Yeah, but what's going to happen, for instance, is like, say you got heaps of people who get into weightlifting in their mid-20s, 30s.
Yeah, that's right.
In,
They're gonna have
through
kids.
CrossFit or blah, blah, blah. They're not going to be any good. Or maybe they will get to a decent standard, but they'll never get to, a high enough standard. But they're going to have children. And they're going to know about weightlifting and blah, blah. They're going to know about gymnastics. And
That's right.
It opens those doors, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. There's going to be so much more awareness of the things that that people can do. And I'm sure these people who started CrossFit in their 30s gone, shit, I wish I'd
I had
done
started.
weightlifting
Yeah, 100%.
when I was this age, and I could have been so much better. Like there's a guy, a masters lifter who he's not a masters lifter yet, but this dude who's like 38, he just joined Phoenix like a month ago, and he used to do competitive bodybuilding and blah, blah, blah. And he's telling us that, he used to train in the garage with his brother and do weights and stuff. And his dad used to be like, hey, there's a weightlifting club called Hawthorne, like just down the road. I can take you there. And he's like, nah, I don't want to do that, blah, blah, blah. That's full of drug cheats and blah, blah, blah. And he's gone, and now he's training at Phoenix.
Yeah.
And he's like really fucking good. Like he picks the movements up super easy. He loves it.
Yeah.
He's upping his training all the time. And he's like, fuck.
I wish I'd have started early.
That I'd gone, yeah, Dad, I'll go down.
Yes. Just once.
Exactly. And all these, like, he's gonna know about that.
Yeah.
His kids are gonna do it. Blah blah blah. So hopefully, it's through people like
100%.
this that weightlifting's gonna grow. But it might slump even further.
Probably like a 20-year
30 year
benefit, when the next generation comes through.
yeah. Or
'Cause I agree.
Or we might start to see it rise now. You never know. But
I think it generally has risen since the CrossFit came along, and I believe 100% that CrossFit has generally sparked the interest of weightlifting across the board.
Well, what things that directly have been awesome about CrossFit is that, one, I don't need to order shoes from Bangladesh. Like weightlifting shoes that you can get by bars and weights really easily.
Just order them from Tommy. He's got a life membership at CrossFit.com /store.
And Brazzers.
What's your
never liked
subscription?
Brazzers, I never liked Brazzers that much.
What were you on? You were on horselovers.com.
Yeah, horse lovers. Goat.
Tasmanian lovers.
Goat lover.
Goat lovers.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
It's been a risky podcast.
Fucking oath it has. Bill's over there having a look at the
mixed up.
time. He's like, fuck, get these guys out of here.
Well, we do have to get you guys out of it at some point.
Yeah.
You guys want to hit? You got. All right, we're gonna go 6 from 6. You got a Tasmanian story for us, mate? Or?
Come on, pal. Talk to us.
I had a bit of a think.
Nah, you don't. If you don't have a story, you don't have a
We're
story.
going to do a part 2 to this, right?
Yeah, we'll do a part 2. We'll do a part 2.
We're gonna come
when you
back.
smash 150, then we'll do a part 2 with Katsy, and then you can get your weights and you come back on when you made them.
Third host, but
You fuck off. All right, we'll go 6 from 6.
All right, let's do 6 from 6 then. So we got starts with me. I'll go you first, Zach.
Sorry, what are we doing? How does this
Oh,
work?
so what happens is...
You've listened to the show.
Yeah, but never this far in.
Do you get to the part where Tommy gets really annoying? Yeah, me too.
That's right.
All right, so you got 3 questions from me, 3 questions from Tommy. I'll ask you both the first question, both the second question, blah blah.
Yeah.
So my first question is favourite travel destination on the planet. Favourite place you've been.
Tommy's mum.
Pardon?
Tommy's mum.
Shut up, fucker. Answer it.
Tommy's mum listens to this show.
Let's go straight to Dan. Fuck off.
You're void. Your answer is void.
No, I probably have to honestly say...
Jesus.
yeah, look how upset he is.
Oh, sorry, Mum.
I'd probably have to say just come back home to Tassie and just hanging out at my parents' house. Like that I've been to a few places now, really, but I'd probably just say that. Just going home and
All right, well,
having to do nothing.
We're on a schedule now, and you've been...
let's
yeah,
put
that's
it
good
on.
enough.
That's 2 shit ones.
What do you got, Katsy?
Probably Japan. Japan was awesome. It was just for the fact that it was just so much shock value to everything, and everything was so new and strange and weird.
Weird is the right word.
Yeah, it was so fascinating
How's
to
the
be there.
toilets?
I want to have a
Yeah,
go on
no,
one of these tours. They look good.
I got a funny
No,
story
they
about.
tickle your balls and everything.
Yeah. So
Tickle your balls, jack you off.
so
He lost it.
I was talking about...
He's made the same jack-off gag in the last 3 shows. he made the jack-off gag to a dad who was talking about anxiety.
Oh, Phil.
No, mate, you got to take the pressure
He
off
made
sometimes.
it
Do you pull the blinds down when you need to?
I've got double screens here. I got off double screens.
it's the only way Bill can deal with the anxiety. Just calling one off.
Masturbation and beer.
All right. So
Sorry.
Japan, Katsy. So next question, swinging it back to you, Zach, is dream travel destination. So somewhere you haven't been that you're number 1 on your bucket list.
Probably like northern Canada.
Northern Canada.
Like far north Canada. Like not up in the Arctic, but like just where you have to get a plane and fly in.
Why Northern Canada? Why that far
Because
into
I
Canada?
always wanted to go to Canada and hunt like elk and moose.
Right.
Because I do a bit of deer shooting and stuff like that. And I've always wanted to have the opportunity to go away and hunt an elk. I'm not one of those blokes that kind of gets excited about hunting bears or endangered species. But I would love to, go to North America and do a bit of a...
So that's
bit of a
elk
hunt.
country, is it? Up
Yeah,
further north
it's
you go.
elk and bear country, and kind of all through there.
Gotcha.
Just be pretty cool.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. And you, Katsy?
Italy.
Italy.
Italy. I'd like to go to Italy and South America, but
Yeah, South America.
I'd like to just go to Italy and just stay there for like a month. I don't know. I've always been fascinated with Italy.
A lot of stuff to do there.
Pretty
Yeah.
cool part.
I've been there, but I missed everything. I just did like a week there.
Would you
and
say it's one of your favourite places?
I wouldn't actually, mate.
I thought
Moving
you
on.
were going to say that about Japan.
Moving on. I know, I was going to, but...
I know you would as well. You're like, hang on. There's about 200 countries in my face.
Every week.
Yeah, I know.
And, Zach, have you got any books that you recommend to people that you like? I know you can't read, but maybe an audio book.
Sports mentions.
No,
Where's
that's
Wally?
harsh.
Okay, so
That's harsh.
it was harsh. Fuck you.
Sure, it's Where's Wally?
Probably the best book I ever listened to, and it was really funny. I was listening to it. It was called Lions of Kandahar.
Heard of that?
Yeah, I think I got
You
it
might
off.
have told me about it.
Yeah, and I remember I was listening to it because I did an old bill when I was listening to Smashing the podcast out. I'd listen to audiobooks at work, and I'm just finishing off at work, and I'm working on this house building at this kitchen, and I just remember standing there bawling my eyes out like
Really?
a fucking baby. It's like one of those books you read. It's like, oh, America, but that's what you think it's going to be like, but it just reads or listens really fucking well, and you felt really connected the whole way through the book, and I just.
What's it about?
Yeah,
Like, it's a
So
war
it's
tale or
about
something?
it's about Green Berets
Right.
in operating in Afghanistan and in northern Afghanistan, and more predominantly in Kandahar, working alongside with the Australians in bits and pieces, and just they went into a 36-hour contact with the Taliban, and just fucking one of those stories like kind of like that Lone Survivor one where up against the odds, and it doesn't read like a wank, so many of those books read like a wank, and it was just kind of really eye opening, and it's
That's
really
good.
cool.
That's good. Katsy?
Favourite book? That's hard. I don't know. I love The Count of Monte Cristo.
God, good
nice
read.
fiction.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that actually.
Yeah,
that's
it's a
one of those
sick book.
Penguin books, right? You can probably get it for like $10. Well, no,
It is a massive book.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, Bill. No.
No, you know the Penguin books like the classics, like Dracula and.
It's
definitely- it's probably a
definitely
derivative
a
of that,
classic.
Yeah.
But it's so in depth. It's just a sick story. It's like it's like revenge porn. I just love it.
Revenge porn.
Yeah, Dan loves a good bit of
I love a
revenge.
good revenge
I
story.
definitely didn't think it was gonna be a revenge porn
Yeah,
story.
that's right.
And then he cut
because
away.
it's like- Because it's like Shawshank Redemption, but better.
Ooh, so Morgan Freeman's in it.
Yes.
Yes, Tommy, that's exactly it.
That's exactly it.
All right.
Sick,
No,
sounds great.
It's awesome.
Tommy, you're up.
Alrighty, Mr. Grgurevic, what do you like to do when you have some spare time?
Well, I'd like to jiu-jitsu. I rode with the jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
Basically, jiu-jitsu and just kind of hang out.
Yeah.
I do try and meditate a fair bit, mainly because of like what you blokes said, how much it helped you. Mm-hmm. So I started hitting that pretty hard, and just kind of meditate, hang out, chill with my girlfriend, and ride Vespers around and do jiu-jitsu.
What do you do for meditation? Do you do morning, afternoon, once a day, twice a day?
So
10
I try and
minutes?
do
hour?
the breathing. So I don't know if you've heard of a guy called Hickson Gracie. He does a lot of meditation breathing before he trains and stuff like that, and it's a lot of deep diaphragmic breathing. I do that, and generally I just use the app, the one that you recommended me to use.
Buddhify.
Yeah, Buddhify. I either use that overnight,
good one.
and I try and just do as much as that as when I can.
Yep.
Pretty time poor, but I suppose everyone is. I can have a whinge about that, but no one cares.
Buddhify is good.
Yeah, Buddhify
Buddhify's
is good. I
great.
definitely, I feel as I get older, that's quite important to, have that bit of time to self-reflect and, check yourself.
Tatsy,
Well,
you much of a meditator?
I'm not a consistent one.
Yeah.
Like I've done it from time to time. No, it's not true. I actually do it, but only like when I'm feeling stressed.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's not a routine practice. I'll do it. I'll do like little ones throughout the day, like maybe even for a few minutes, and I
Yeah.
definitely do it to get to sleep.
Yes.
So all I do is I just like concentrate on breathing through my nose into my stomach, and I just count my breaths from 1 to 10, and then just keep doing that.
When are you going to sleep?
Yeah, when I'm going to sleep, and it gets me to sleep every time.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
because that's the big thing. If I sleep well, I feel good throughout the day,
Fuck
and then I
yeah.
don't need to meditate.
Yeah, sleep is what the most important thing
Yeah,
you can
exactly.
do.
100%.
I'm pretty neurotic about my sleep, 9 hours a night.
9 hours
That's
a night.
perfect,
that
mate.
is great.
Yeah.
God, love 9 hours every day.
It's
I
funny.
probably get like close to 7 though. If I get in between 7 and 8, I'm happy. I always go. I always aim for like 7.5 because I always miss the 8. I'm like, I can't get 8.
Yeah.
I 7.5, and then it'll probably end up being about 7. And if I know that I've gotten less than 7 hours sleep,
You fall
I'll
apart.
mentally be like, fuck. I'll just be
Yeah.
like, damn, I'm not rested. Even if I feel alright, I'll mentally be like, I'm not rested enough.
yeah.
On average, I would say I get 7. On average.
Yeah, I reckon
Sometimes
7's
I get like
7's
9
me.
hours sleeps, and then I have like fucking 5 hours sleeps.
Yeah.
Do you do the late classes at Schwartz's?
Yeah.
Do you do the late night ones as well, like the Tuesday and Thursday?
Oh, I don't do those. I used to do those, but I can't be fussed sleeping. Like I want to do shit.
Yeah.
I just
Can't be
wanna do
fussed
shit.
sleeping.
So it's
I've always thought about that. Like, if you could get your life to the point where maybe if you like meditated for an hour a day,
Yeah.
so that you could only sleep 5 hours a night, so you have 2 extra hours of your day every day. Because you think of like how much an extra 2. It's a shame because I used to work with a guy Jared, who slept for 5 or 6 hours a night every night, and he deliberately is like, oh no, I feel great 5 or 6 hours. Arnold Schwarzenegger claims he sleeps like 4 or 5 hours a night, and because you get more of your life, like you say. Like, I'm like, fuck, I got shit. I'm fucking loving watching this TV show. Like, I'm loving fucking down the beach right now. I want to get up early and do this. But you kind of got to obviously let your body recover and be good to yourself. But
I got way more time to write. I'm super happy now, and like I just as soon as I wake up, I'm like, fuck, all right, I've got to get right into the day. And we were in an Uber, me and Kieran after Mexico, and we met this guy. Like, I don't think you were it was in LA.
Yeah.
And this guy who was a black belt in Taekwondo slept for 4 hours a night, and he just said for him it just works really well.
Yeah.
He was just up at 3 a.m. every day, because that was the time we needed to get to at the plane, and he was up at 3 a.m. every morning, and he just did not want to sleep because he just had shit on that he wanted to do.
Yeah.
I swear, some people could do it.
wonder if he trains though. If none of us trained and we're all just like yogis, if we didn't put our CNS through fucking hell and back every day,
exactly.
Like, I mean, we have to sleep.
If I didn't train, I think I could sleep less.
Yeah.
But
See, he doesn't
You can't do it if you're training.
No,
Simple
I
fact
just
is you
don't
can't
get it.
do it.
I mean,
No,
like,
you can't.
I
If you do, you're an idiot.
follow Jocko Willink on Instagram,
Love this
and he
man.
gets up 4:30 every day. I just don't know how he does it.
I tried that once. I set my alarm for 4:30. I set it up for 4:30. I'm like, I'm going to fucking get it. I'm going to attack the day. Just
I
like,
know.
got up, saw the alarm, said, fuck that, and went back to bed. Woke up an hour and a half later. I get up at 6 every day.
I do that all the time.
Except yesterday when I
All the
slept
time.
12 hours.
It's amazing, like the get up and go you have just before you go to bed, and how determined you are to attack things and get goals, done and blah blah blah. Whatever you've like convinced yourself is the thing to do before you go to sleep, and then you wake up and go, none of that shit matters. I want to sleep.
My life sucks. I hate it.
I'm having a great time right now where I am. Why do I want to change what I'm doing?
How many times has the coach told me you just been like, oh, it's fucking open. There's going to be 3 people in the class. Just turn my phone off. Fucking go to sleep.
Yeah, that's right.
I do that every Friday. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I better get up. I made a thing about getting this class, better go.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've got to pull it in. But you got to sleep. You got to sleep. Like, I get up at 6 pretty much every day except Thursday.
Yeah.
And I just attack the day.
I'm a 5:30 man.
I know, but you do go to bed at like 9.
Yeah, no shit. I go to bed 9:30. 9:30.
So you get your 8 hours.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But like, I'm fucking super regimented. Like,
And you can fall asleep just like that.
mate, I can fall asleep now.
We have been the past hour. We've been particularly balls. Alright, next question. Zach, who was a big inspiration in your life?
Daniel
Katz.
No. Fuck, who would be a big inspiration in my life? Like, all right, so my first weightlifting coach, I guess, like, up until that point, my biggest inspiration was probably just me mum. Nah, like, I just come from a pretty tough kind of family. My mum's a hard woman.
Yep.
Like, she's pretty tough, and my dad's a hard dude. Like, very loving and shit like that, but they hard and they have a go. Mm-hmm. So probably just my mum and dad had just taught me, so I just expected that of myself. And then after my first weightlifting coach died, probably him.
Yep.
And now just like my biggest role model for me is just like, sounds a bit gay, but like life. Like, you just want to be the better version of yourself each day. Yeah. Like, that's all I try and do. Like, I don't want to, I want to be like this weightlifter. I want to be the best that I can be. So like, just trying to be a little bit better every day is kind of like something I look forward to. I wouldn't say role model, but something I look forward to. But yeah, say my coach and my mum and dad, and that's pretty much it.
McConaughey says that his role model is the person he wants to be in 5 years' time. So it's like always person.
Mate, I can't think past Tuesday.
But it's the same notion.
No, you couldn't even spell Tuesday.
Fuck off, like that. Hang on.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, I'm severely
Matthew
dyslexic.
And I'm severely harsh. Everything I've said is true.
And Bill is a old grumpy prick.
But Matthew McConaughey also said that he read some book, which was it like The Greatest Salesman in the World or something by Og Mandingo, or I can't remember what his name is. Something like that. And anyway, so basically...
You mean Ernie
You
Dingo?
mean Mandingo? You mean Mandingo, right?
Well, I don't know. Mandingo. Something like that. Anyway, so the whole premise of this book is like this dude discovers these scrolls, and like you have to read, and like the way the book works is like there's a scroll, right? And there's like maybe 8 of them. You have to read one passage 3 times a day for like a month, and then you never forget it, and then it's like, and then it's entered your subconscious, and then you'll act on that scribe. So I like downloaded this book, and I was reading these things because Matthew McConaughey told me to, and it was the biggest crock of shit I've ever read. I was like, what does this even mean?
Was Matthew McConaughey sitting going?
No, he was sitting there like, all right. I read this book by Mandingo. Great book.
Baby, just keep living.
Just keep living it. Yeah.
Oh, he's so dreamy.
Yeah, he's dreamy.
He is.
I want him to be my dad.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. We'll move on.
Yeah, like that didn't answer anything. It was just Daniel hanging shit on the dad of Matthew McConaughey.
It's kind of weird. Big inspiration, Mr. Katz.
I don't know. Probably, I'd just say my dad. If I was going to go with anything.
He knows his stuff, Mr. Ivan.
He's not a bad bloke.
Yeah, he is I don't know. Like, he's obviously, I don't know. Yeah, you'd definitely be my biggest inspiration. I mean, for me, sorry?
What were his numbers at all time?
120, 155 at 6, like a little bit over 60.
Yeah, he's a 60 kilo lifter. He did, like, his best weights in training, in comp were like 15:45.
Yeah.
But I know he snatched 120 in training, and he had a massive clean. He could clean 160.
Shit.
Weighing 60.
Oh, that's
So
strong.
huge clean, not that great overhead.
Right.
But yeah.
All that work they do in the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a really good. Went back when they had the press.
Yeah.
He was a really good presser.
Yeah.
So he had like the Commonwealth record in the press, but the press does not help you jerk.
Yeah, that's right.
So if you were a really good presser, you were a shit jerker.
Yeah, probably fucks you jerk up.
Yeah.
Being so
You just
And you're
hanging out
strong
the
and
front.
just like,
And your back, like
You see that photo of like Nick Chancho in the press, and he's like at the front, like, fuck me, 175 kilos, not bad.
What would he press at 60 kilos then? What was the
He had
Commonwealth
the
record?
Commonwealth record as a 56, and he pressed 107.
Jesus.
That's epic, isn't it?
I
I've
honestly...
pressed 70 before.
I'll press 70.
Press 70.
But press is actually like 65. No.
Mine's 70.
Yeah,
I think
so,
mine's
even
like
lying.
not much more than Bill's. Like, honestly.
Well, Bill's very weak. And he's also here with us.
And I'm very fat.
All right, final question, guys. Zach, if you could invite 3 people to dinner, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
3.
Yes, 3 people. 3 people. No, mate, you've had a year and a half to think about this.
Yeah, I have it a while.
Listen to every show.
Yeah.
All right. I know this sounds a bit weird, but like Khrushchev, he was the Russian premier during the 60s, like Cuban Missile Crisis. And just, I don't know why.
Continue.
Just because I'm
Number
reading a lot about the Cold War at the moment.
Okay.
Oh.
Probably
Pick up the spirits a bit after you and Christoph just fucking...
Khrushchev.
Having a sip.
Khrushchev.
Have some garlic bread.
Most definitely, probably my great-grandfather on my mum's side. I'd have him around. And
What did he do?
he was just he was like severely dyslexic. Switched on dude. He was in the Royal Australian Navy during the war, and just a pretty switched on kind of dude, but could kind of fix anything. He was a gunner and in charge of a gun crew, and he just could fix anything. And I thought that was always pretty cool. Like I remember him being like in his late 80s. Just would fix anything, and he had Alzheimer's.
Could he fix things?
He could fix things. Like just make shit like
He'd fix
electronics. Like
anything,
you give him like a fucking. He's like MacGyver.
Yeah.
I think MacGyver was loosely based on
My
his
grandpa.
life.
My grandpa.
And my last person. Oh, it's a fucking hard one. I probably like. What are you laughing at?
Laughing at Tommy, laughing at my stupid gag. So I'm laughing
they're
at
all
my
shit,
laughing at
mate.
my own gag.
I'm just trying to understand how the dynamic of this
It would be
this
so
hypothetical
weird.
conversation would go. You got your grandfather going, "Can I fix something?" And the guy who's in charge of
Well,
the.
maybe I should invite John F. Kennedy to this because then he can be like, "Look, mate, you don't put them fucking missiles in my backyard."
One day we will put a man on the moon.
Yeah, that's good, Tommy.
Okay, any garlic bread?
Fuck, I don't know. Probably Joe Rogan. I know it sounds a bit of a fanboy.
Ah, that's a great one.
No,
Fuck
because
yeah.
fucking he's
You
a-
and Rogan would just have a great chat, and the other you'd be giving shit to the other. Oh, well, not your grandpa, but the other dude.
Yeah, no, probably like Joe Rogan and just Alex Jones. No, no, Alex Jones, no.
Oh, 3 people.
Me?
Fuck.
Can I come?
Winston Churchill.
Nice.
Oh
That'd be
fuck! Why didn't I say that?
Winston Churchill would be sick. someone else is a fucking great conversational. The guy I'm listening to heaps at the moment is Jordan Peterson.
Oh, Jordan
That
Peterson's
dude,
great.
he'd be sick.
Fuck, did you listen to him and Sam Harris?
I listened to a bit of the first one. It was just shit.
So painful.
I just didn't listen to
So
it.
painful.
I love Jordan Peterson though.
He's fucking awesome.
He's awesome.
Sam Harris and him disagreed on what truth is,
Ooh.
and it went for about 45 minutes in the middle of the podcast.
Really?
Yeah, he apologises before the podcast. He goes, I'm so sorry, guys. We couldn't even agree on what truth is, and the podcast... It's
What's
Sam
the
Harris has been a
podcast?
stubborn
Yeah,
fucking...
because
What's the
basically
podcast?
Sam
Waking Up with Sam Harris.
Sam
That
Harris
sounds
is like
fucking sick.
completely
Great. I like
rational.
I like all your podcast
and he
recommendations.
can't accept
It's the best.
anything that's like abstract
Yeah, of course.
or
He's
like
so rational.
he's so rigid and rational.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
and then you got a guy like Peterson who's talking about like mythological people and
Fuck, my answers
and
were shit.
religions and blah blah blah.
Fuck me.
All right, and a third person. Who would I get? For a
Me?
third
Winston
person?
Churchill, Jordan Peterson, Daniel Katz, and
Zac Grgurevic.
Ooh, third person. Okay, someone fucking sick. Maybe another historical figure. Maybe.
What about your pop?
what about
Your
Genghis?
grandfather?
Oh, my grandfather.
Genghis.
No,
Genghis.
my
No one's
grandfather.
invited Genghis to the
No,
dinner table yet.
Genghis Khan.
I wonder why.
Even though
Just
my
slice off
grandfather,
our heads and eat our bodies.
even though my grandfather's a
Yeah.
legendary man, he's not a conversationalist.
Oh, Daniel, who are these
He'd be like,
idiots?
he's a fucking idiot. Yeah, blah blah. He wouldn't be
Yeah,
good.
probably not Daniel's pop then.
Yeah. So not him. Oh, maybe third person.
Should we just get the gender dynamic?
Solzhenitsyn. That'd be sick.
Who?
Solzhenitsyn. You know the dude that Jordan Peterson is always going on about?
Nah.
The guy who wrote the Gulag Archipelago?
Oh, I've heard him made me mention the name, but I don't know.
That just sounds good.
It'd
like-
be
I love a good
interesting. It'd
gulag.
be interesting.
I love a good archipelago.
Yeah.
My mate and him get on real well because you know what? He sent a few to the Gulag.
No, okay, yeah, true.
All right, cool. Well, lads, good session. Finally, Zach,
Yes,
where can people find you on social media?
and you go to the interweb
Yes.
and you use the Instagram.
Yes.
Oh, just you can hit me up on Grinder and no, straight. You can hit me up on Instagram. If you can spell my last name, you're doing pretty fucking well.
That's very true.
So
How do you
just
spell?
Zac_Grgurevic, Australian weightlifter. Mate. I'm actually thinking about changing it because I sound like a fucking tosser. Like Australian weightlifter, who the fuck
It
cares?
should be Zachary Grgurevic, just right.
You know, Grgurevic.
Grgurevic. Giggity.
Yeah, just Zac_Grgurevic on Instagram.
Yep.
Can hit me up on Facebook, same. It's Zac Adam, because I had 2 Facebook accounts, got locked out of one, had to start another one. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Can I give my number out?
Instagram D_Katsy.
Say that again, sorry, mate. Zach is being an absolute plug.
D_Katsy.
D_Katsy.
With a K.
Yep. With a
Katsy
K.
with a K.
With a K.
Can you
KTZ.
please change that to Thundercats?
Thundercats.
Yeah, sure.
Fuck.
Okay.
Daniel Thundercats.
And that, I think we will call it there. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you, boys.
Part 2 yet to come.
Very fun.
Thanks. Yet to come.
Thanks a lot,
Dan
boys.
Katz and Dan Katz only.
Bill, tell me it's not true.
That was a great show, and that's a wrap.
Alrighty, guys, I really hope you enjoyed that show. Again, my name is Thomas Barry Ahern. Barry is my middle name. Yep, that is, it's a weird one, but it's a good one. Guys, if you wanted any of the show notes or any of the show notes or any of the things we spoke about today, head to www.adventurefittravel.com/podcast. It is all there. One, we have Dan and Katz. So click on Dan and Katz episode 90. Just a little segue there, 97. And get all your show notes there, guys. Also, you can leave us a rating and review on iTunes where you have downloaded this podcast on the podcast app. That would be awesome. We love reading your reviews, guys. Obviously, give it 5 stars. Even if you hated it, give us 5 stars or at the very least 4. And we'll get around you in a big way, in one way or another. Guys, head to www.adventurefittravel.com. Get up to date with everything Adventure Fit. All of the trips are up there. Join up with the mailing list. Head to www.audibletrial.com/ADVF. That is where you will get your free credit and get your thirst for knowledge and fiction quenched. And also head to www.quashcreative.com and mention Adventure Fit Radio. Shawnee is going to give you a free basic SEO report on your website or feedback on your existing brand. You need to use that utensil, guys. Without further ado, speak to you next week. Oh, bye.
Discovery Roger, go for deploy.